This story since the beginning, mold in Howard County Public Schools. It's a controversial topic that dates back to 2013, one we have been following since last school year. And in the past several years, the school system has taken steps to address concerns, including entering into an agreement with the county to have independent air quality testing. In Focus reporter Mallory Safaste has more on the results.
Jamie, 12 schools were tested. The outside firm found that mold levels were higher than expected, but they're not able to determine whether there are any health risks. Now, the school system is assuring parents that their buildings are safe.
In all 12 reports, the bold red numbers stick out. They indicate mold levels that are higher than the industry-accepted practice.
So when we received the reports and we saw the red numbers, we had questions too. And the fact is the report didn't provide the context you need to understand what those numbers mean.
According to the school system's hired consultant, they don't mean much.
Do you agree with the contractor's decision to put all those numbers in red?
No, I think that was just irrelevant and unnecessary cause of concern.
He said the tests are not a true measure of mold in buildings, but rather a reading of mold spores at that moment in time, which is something that constantly changes and is impacted by a number of different variables.
When the consultant went in and ran air tests of spores in the air, spores of mold are everywhere. There are no standards defining what's acceptable, not acceptable.
There are no state or federal guidelines determining what levels are unhealthy. And because there are no standards to compare these numbers to, he says the real test is a visual inspection.
The standards are that wet buildings and visible mold growth is not acceptable.
However, Vicki Catronio is not satisfied by his standards. She says her daughter has suffered health issues while attending Glenwood Middle School, and that how kids are feeling should also be taken into account.
You know, addressing the health issues, engaging the health department, bringing in doctors. Now, we shouldn't be getting advice from industrial hygienists who don't have a medical degree, you know, determining whether the building is safe for students or not.
She agrees that decisions shouldn't be based on the mold spore count, but rather an improvement in health.
They keep telling us the same thing. Everything is normal, everything is great, and there's nothing to be worried about yet. Kids are still sick in the building. Staff are still sick, and that's the parameter.
The school system says they've taken the appropriate actions to address mold and that more maintenance and cleaning will continue throughout the summer. Catronio says she's optimistic the problem will be taken care of, but that she can't help but be skeptical after information was withheld from parents in the past.
We just want the schools to be healthy and to have information so we can make decisions for our kids.
Right now, the school system is still reviewing the reports. They have no plans for any major maintenance.